Man, oh man. Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw tonight. This show sucks. This show was absolutely fucking terrible, outside of Bobby Lashley versus Jeff Hardy, of course. So we got Asuka versus Shayna Basler, Dana Brooke and Ricochet versus Slapjack and Reckoning, Shelton Benjamin versus Kofi Kingston, Kofi versus Cedric, Drew and Sheamus versus Miz and Morrison, and AJ Styles. We got Bobby Lashley versus Jeff Hardy. And we got Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, seemingly out of nowhere. Why we got this match, I don't know. Who knows? Fucking Bruce, why don't you ask Bruce and Vince McMahon? They seem to know. Considering that they're fucking morons. Folks, we're gonna go over it all right here on my YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Brendan. This is your December the 7th, 2020 Monday Night Raw review. Follow me on Twitter at Ingham Wrestling. Follow me on Twitch at Ingham Wrestling News. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I got 121 subscribers. I'm on the road to 1,000, so help me get up to 200 at least, to where we can keep on going. Help me, support me in my channel, and I just want to thank some each and every week as I continue to give you more new content on this channel. I got some more content coming on the channel this month. I got some new Ingham Wrestling News videos dropping. As a matter of fact, I got 2 new Ingham Wrestling News videos dropping this week. It's probably going to be either today or tomorrow. I think it's going to be today. I'm going to review to you what those 2 Ingham Wrestling News videos are that I'm dropping this week. And then I got some more, too, as well. So, and I'm going to be streaming this week as well. So I'm actually going to tweet out a poll asking which one of the 4 games I should stream on this week. You're going to have a choice to choose from. You only got to vote 1. You can't vote 2, 3, 4. But anyways, follow me on Twitter at Ingham Wrestling. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Turn on the bell for notifications. We're going to go ahead and get started. So, my God, man. I don't know how anybody could fucking watch this show and say, this show is fucking great. Clearly it wasn't. In my point of view, from watching this show, the show was fucking terrible. It was fucking horrendous. Insane. It was fucking not a good show at all. It was fucking boring to watch. This was another 3-hour waste of everybody's time watching it. It really was. Seriously. It was that bad. This was one of the worst Monday Night Raw shows of 2020. Right there. It sits right there as the number 2 worst Monday Night Raw show of 2020. Anyways, folks. So, basically, Monday Night Raw opens up with a 10-bell salute to the late Pat Patterson. Randy Orton enters the ring shortly after. There's a quick video recap of Later's Vulnerably Alexa Bliss. Orton opens his promo by saying that any ordinary man would tremble at the thought of facing the Fiend, but he's no ordinary man. He adds that he doesn't need a mask to let the darkness out. When my time comes, I'm going to stare the devil right in the eyes and let him know that the most evil son of a bitch has come for him. In the meantime, he says, I'm going to be waiting at the funhouse door, wondering just who exactly is going to let me in. Bray Wyatt's music hits and the Firefly Funhouse is on Raw, basically. So, Bray Wyatt welcomes Orton. He's alone, saying that since Orton was mean to Alexa last week, he'll have to settle for a little old him. Orton says he's done with games, but Wyatt is not. It's time to play Let's Get Randy. The question is, how should Randy be punished at TLC? The contestants, such as Rumbling Rabbit and Huskers, come up with the wrong answers. So then Wyatt interrupts, saying the Fiend has the right answers. Orton has had enough. He wants a match with Wyatt tonight, and he accepts. So that was later on the show. So then we got a tradition to a video recap of Asuka and Lana teaming up to beat Naya, Jax, and Shayna Basler for a second week in a row. They really need to get one of these women's tag team titles. They are not doing nothing for this show at all. The titles are just in the way of this show, man. They need to burn these titles. Seriously. The two teams will face off the women's tag team titles at TLC, which nobody gives a shit about this women's tag team titles, man. I mean, who the fuck's gonna watch this match? Oh, I got an answer for you. Nobody. Nobody. Absolutely zero. None. Nobody's watching that match because they know how boring the women's tag team title match is gonna be. Just like how boring Lana versus Nia Jax is going to be next week on Monday Night Raw. I mean, do you know how many times we've seen this match already? And they're already booking this match yet again. My God, man. If that doesn't tell you the level of how terrible creative is, I cannot express enough on it. What else to tell you? I don't know what else I have to tell you, man. Really. Man, it seems like WWE Creative is getting worse and worse and worse each and every week, man. It's ridiculous. So we got Asuka versus Shayna Basler. Asuka goes for an ankle lock early. Shayna transitions into a Ellie's hold. So before the match, back in the ring where Asuka will take on Baszler in a singles match, Asuka is out first. Baszler comes out after a commercial break. Jax is giving Baszler a peep talk. The duo also discuss what they're going to do to Lana. Baszler enters. So then that's when we got the match. So Shayna transitions into a heel hook, but Asuka sinks in a knee bar. Tons of technical skill here. Shayna lifts up Asuka, showing her power as she lands a back suplex. So then, Asuka to the outside where Lana confronts her. Then the pair are attacked by Jax and Baszler. It goes to commercial break. And back live, Baszler's targeting Asuka's left arm. Asuka counters with a roll-up. Shayna downs her with kicks. Shayna goes for another kick, but Asuka ducks and hits a release German suplex. Face buster from Asuka. She goes for a hip attack in the corner, but Shayna blocks. flying armbar by the Raw Women's Champion. But Shayna counters into it, careful to clutch. Asuka fights out of it, but on the outside, Jax beats down Lana. She fights back, hitting Jax into the steel steps, and then the announce table after reversing a powerbomb. Shayna's distracted, and it allows Asuka to roll up Shayna for the 3. So the winner basically was Asuka, because Asuka rolled her up for the 1, 2, 3. Now, you obviously already know what my thoughts and comments on this match is. I'm going to let you take a guess on that one. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously, my thoughts and reactions and comments on this match, though, seriously. To be honest, how bad does it look that we're getting Shayna Basler and Asuka going one-on-one in the mix of this terrible tag team feud instead of going at it one-on-one for the Raw Women's Championship? I think I would much rather see a Raw Women's Championship match between Shayna Basler and Asuka than to see a tag team feud. I mean, really, who wants to see something like that? And then, not to mention, as far as the Bray Wyatt and Orton feud, WWE was really trying to get us to get invested in this Wyatt and Orton feud. Honestly, Ingram Wrestling News, myself, still have my doubts on this whole thing. I'm not sure, man. I mean, we've already seen this feud before, and we already knew how this was going to turn out. It didn't turn out too good in the main event of this, on the match between Wyatt and Orton. It wasn't good at all. It was fucking terrible. It really was. So, anyways, transition to a replay of Cedric Alexander pinning Xavier Woods last week. So Cedric Benjamin takes on Kofi Kingston backstage now with the Hurt Business. They bully a staff member backstage. Commercial back live for a recap of Miz attempting to cash in last week with the help of AJ Styles. So then to the back where Ricochet and Dana Brooke. What the hell's Dana Brooke doing back on the show? Oh, she came back on the show from injury. Now she's recovered from injury now. Oh, God, great. We got to see Dana Brooke every week. Oh. See, that's an example. That's an example of why women's wrestling's getting worse now. Because you got superstars like Dana Brooke on the freaking show. Merge the divisions, Bruce. Dana Brooke is not setting a good example for women's wrestling at all. Period. She's not. I just don't think she's setting a good example. Mandy Rose is. Dana Brooke's not. I'd rather see Mandy Rose on my TV than Dana Brooke. Let's be honest. Oh my God. Dana Brooke is absolutely fucking terrible at what she does in the ring. She does the same fucking moves every fucking week on Raw. So, Ricochet and Dana Brooke are talking strategy for their mixed tag match. Riddle appears with Braun Nuts. Really? Braun Nuts? What is this, Bruce? Is this your way of fucking joking around? Making this show look fucking worse than it did already? It's just your way of saying, oh, fuck WWE creative, fuck the WWE fans. This is probably your way of saying, fuck everybody that I fucking work with. Never mind that. Fuck the WWE. When he's booking garbage like this, when we see garbage like this on TV. So he's looking for MVP to pitch his idea of something that already exists. I wish the show never exists, because the show sucks. Ricochet is interviewed now about his feud with Retribution. He says that there is strength in numbers. Tonight, Brooke adds that she made her point last week by defeating Reckoning, known as Mia Yim, saying that no one is going to take her dream from her. She adds that she'll have Ricochet's back. To the ring were Slapjack and Reckoning, known as Yim. Yim. I can imagine saying her name while the car is going Yim, Yim, Yim. That's funny. That's just a funny thought. Reckoning and Retribution will take on Ricochet and Dana Brooke after the commercial break. So back live, Mustafa Ali, Slapjack, and Reckoning, obviously, cut a promo on Ricochet and Brooke. Ali notes that Ricochet is delusional and Brooke is disrespectful, and the pair will meet their match. So Brooke and Ricochet enters. That's what I'm trying to say. So we got Dana Brooke and Ricochet versus Slapjack and Reckoning. So Reckoning and Brooke throw hands right off the hook. Sounds so lame to me. Brooke gets the upper hand in the corner and tags in Ricochet, who lands a Hurricane Rana and a dive over the top. Slapjack counters with a modified Falcon Arrow. Ooh, isn't that Seth Rollins' move? Anyways, but misses on a cannonball right after. So Brooke and Reckoning are back in. Reckoning gets distracted by Ali, and Brooke capitalizes with a sit out slam for the win. That was a surprising sit out slam by Dana Brooke, even though she's still fucking terrible. She's still setting a terrible example for the women's division. Just like Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans. So, the post-match, Ali is pissed. He screams at both team members and leaves the ring. To the back with Sheamus. He's confronted by Keith Lee. Lee notes that it's just a matter of time before you stab your best friend in the back. Sheamus isn't having any of it and leaves. Commercial break. Backline for Miz TV and... oh, God. I am so... See? This is one of the reasons why the viewership drops to an all-time low, because of Miz TV. Because of this garbage that they show every week on Monday Night Raw. Miz TV. Are you fucking serious with this Miz TV shit? Fuck out of here with this shit, Bruce. Seriously, man. And my God, man, and speaking of Retribution, man, my God, Retribution is an absolute joke, folks. The shit needs to end. They need to bring them all back to their regular selves. I mean, I don't get how the fuck me and Yim is losing to Dana Brooke 2 weeks in a row. It's absolutely embarrassing, man. It's absolutely fucking sad. It really is. Which goes to show that Vince and Bruce does not care about the talent nor the shows. They only care about their own selves. I've said this time again, and I'm just now saying it again for the 3,000th time in a row. Do you know how many times I've said this on my reviews every week, man? Jeez, man. For real. Merge the fucking divisions, man. Bruce. Time you say merge the divisions, every time you say they need to build new stars, they don't listen. They still refuse to build new stars and merge the divisions. Why? Because they're fucking morons. Why? Because they're stupid. You got a 60-something-year-old man, Bruce Prichard, writing the show. And then you got a 70-something-year-old man as freaking chairman, Vince McMahon. Are you freaking serious? Come on, man. Give me a break. Bruce and Vince need to be removed, like, effective immediately. These guys fucking suck, man. They need to be removed. They are absolutely terrible at producing and writing and booking. They are absolutely terrible at that. Creative is terrible at that too. This is fucking ridiculous, dude. This fucking show is so embarrassing, man, to watch. He and Morrison introduces AJ Styles. Miz begins by apologizing for the fact that there isn't a chair big enough for Styles' bodyguard, a moose. And then, not to mention, on top of that, even more dumber, they changed Jordan's name to a moose. Why? Why would you go with a moose rather than go with Jordan? I would have kept his name Jordan instead of a moose. First of all, why does AJ Styles even have a bodyguard when he doesn't even need one? Seriously. Show can't get any more boring than what it is. Morrison then asks what Styles' plan is against Drew in a TLC match. Styles notes that he's going to take a steel chair and wrap it around Drew's back until it breaks. He adds that he'll do the same with ladders and tables. Styles then notes how physically imposing Drew is, but that it won't matter after he's done with him. Morrison chimes in, saying that Drew has to make it to TLC first, as the trio take on Drew and Sheamus. Yeah, I said it, folks. Drew and Sheamus. Later on tonight, Miz then pokes fun at Sheamus and Drew's accents as well as their culture. How stupid does this sound? Does this sound stupid to anybody? I just want to ask, really. Sheamus enters. He laughs at the jokes, but then gets serious, saying he's going to beat down all three guys. So then Miz notes that he's outnumbered. He's outnumbered. And Drew McIntyre's music hits. The pair walk to the ring. Drew says that he had the odds stacked against him many times, but always comes through, and this time will be no different. Drew then throws a compliment to Miz and Morrison. He then transitions, saying that Miz's reputation is one of being gutless. What kind of promo is that? Outside the ring, AJ says it's 4-on-2. Inside the ring, Drew and Sheamus take down Miz and Morrison, offering a taste of what might happen later. Drew also tosses the Money in the Bank briefcase, breaking one of the panels on the transitions to a replay of Orton and Bray Wyatt's interaction from early in the night. My God, man. Miz and Morrison are so fucking cringe. It's sickening. And I hate saying that about John Morrison, folks, but he's too damn good to be stuck with someone as cringe-worthy as The Miz. John Morrison, I think I would much rather see him as a singles competitor than a tag team competitor. Let's be honest. Him teaming up with Miz is just fucking up John Morrison's career even more. It's making John Morrison's career look worse. I don't know if they're teaming up with Miz because they're showing him the way or what, but John Morrison needs to be a singles competitor, Bruce! We don't need to see him with Miz. It's already bad enough that the Miz fucking sucks what he does in the ring. I mean, he fucking sucks as a heel, as a whole, period. I don't know why we are still I don't know why Bruce and Vince McMahon is still continuing this fucking Drew McIntyre Miz and Morrison feud. This feud is straight up trash. Seriously, it really is. They need to get that feud off TV. It's embarrassing to watch on TV. It is. I just don't think Vince McMahon and Bruce. I think Vince and Bruce are just mentally fucking meth heads, man. They're mental. They don't understand. They don't understand WWE. I just don't think they understand these shows. They don't understand how we're seeing these shows and how we know how bad these shows are. I don't think they care. I don't think they care, man. It's obviously sad. It's not good. They need a new WWE creative team, man. They really do. It's really time for Bruce and Vince to get removed, man. These shows, the fucking viewerships are already getting bad enough. I can't even, I don't even know what else I want to say, but anyways, folks, back to the ring. Kofi Kingston's entrance music hits. He'll take on Shelton after a break. Back live, Shelton enters with MVP and Cedric. So we got Shelton versus Kofi Kingston, and then after that, they book Kofi Kingston versus Cedric. Why are you booking Kofi Kingston in multiple matches? This absolutely made no sense to me. I don't know why they did this, man. Goes to show you how bad, how completely bankrupt WWE is. It goes to show you how terrible creative is with their thinking. It really does. Really. So, fast start for Shelton. He lands a big boot for a near fall early. Shelton rushes at Kofi but gets hit with a cave-in. Kofi to the top, but he's caught. He tries for a SOS, but Shelton counters into a fierce powerbomb, followed by an ankle lock. Kofi gets to the ropes, but is still being bombarded. Kofi goes to jump to avoid an attack, but he's hurt his knee for some reason. Shelton capitalizes and targets the leg. Kofi heads outside the ring, and Shelton follows. He dives and misses, hitting the barricade. Kofi gets back in the ring with Shelton following at 8. Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise for the win right after. So the post-match, Cedric is pissed and he wants to take a match with Kofi. It's on after a break. I don't know why. Why? Really? Twice? Oh my god, man. Can't stand this fucking show. I really can't. I don't even want to be here. I don't even want to review this fucking garbage. I don't even want to be here. I really don't. But I'm doing this for my viewers, and I'm doing this to get subscribers and views, obviously. Still don't want to be here, though. Got Kofi versus Cedric. Back line. Cedric is targeting the left leg of Kofi. He transitions into a knee bar and continues to weaken his opponent's leg. Cedric runs at Kofi in the corner, but gets slammed down by Kofi's one good leg. So then multiple transitions lead to a roll-up by Kofi for a 2. By the way, folks, the live chat is open for anybody who wants to chat with me, man. He tries for a SOS. It's countered, but Kofi gets another roll-up. Cedric regains momentum with a spinning brainbuster for a near fall. Both men are teetering at the top. Kofi pushes Cedric down, but misses his dive, hurting his knee. Cedric capitalizes, hitting the lumberjack for the victory. WWE folks just continuously trying to justify their Hurt Business getting another tag team championship match after they've lost clean 3 times before this. I mean, what do you expect from the only 2 teams on the Raw tag team division? Looks like we got a long ways to go with these 2 teams. Merge the divisions, Bruce and Vince. I'm going to keep saying it until you do it. I'm going to keep saying it every week until you merge the divisions. I'm going to get right in Bruce and Vince's head. Because obviously they're not listening to anybody. Me and JD and other people have said this twice in a row. And they still not doing it. Just like we said, better these Raw and SmackDown shows. They're still not going to do it. Build new stars. Still not doing it. Put Shayna Basler in the Raw Women's title picture. Still not doing it. Get the women's tag team titles in 24/7 on TV. They still won't do that either. Oh my God. It's always, to Vince and Bruce, it's always about power, 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 power. It's always about that crap. Jeez, man. I hope we get a new executive director that's not all about power. Is instead all about giving us what we want to see on Raw and SmackDown every week. Giving us what we think, what we want to see, what we think is going to boost up the Raw and SmackDown viewership. We need an executive director like that, man. An executive director that's going to give us what he knows, what we want out of these shows, man. Creatively out of these shows. So, commercial break, back live for a video tribute of Pat Patterson. We then transition back to the ring where Drew and Sheamus are set to take one AJ, Miz, and Morrison in a 3-on-2 handicap match. Oh, man. Oh, man. They just cannot get over booking the same matches each and every week, can they? Ugh. God awful, man. Really. So, they were back live for a replay of Tribute to the Troops, followed by the entrances of Sheamus, AJ, Miz, and Morrison. We got Drew and Sheamus versus AJ, Miz, and Morrison. Hey, no. I wish Miz would get off my TV. I'd rather see Morrison on it than him. Morrison and Drew start. Drew with a huge forearm shiver and fierce toss into the corner. Sheamus gets the tag, headlock, takedown, but Morrison fights out. Sheamus gets wrist control, back, and tosses Morrison off the ropes. Morrison kicks. Miz sacrifices himself. Sheamus then accidentally hit Drew on the outside. The two have a small back and forth as Morrison leaps over the top, but is caught and sent into the announce desk. I don't even want to put this match on my screen because I don't want to see them. I don't want to see their faces. I don't. They embarrassed me. They embarrassed us watching their match. They embarrassed us watching this match. Back line, Sheamus is in control of the Miz. He tags in Drew, who lands a knife edge chop in the corner. Quick tag to Sheamus. The pair hit a double suplex. Important to note that AJ still hasn't tagged in the match. Oh, really? Who fucking cares? Drew is tagged back in. Tandem offense to Miz with a hip toss. Miz battles back, forcing Drew into the heels corner with a shoulder shot. AJ tags in and out quickly with Morrison, who lands a quick tag of his own to Miz. Drew disposes of all three opponents as Sheamus and Drew land another double team. This time a big chop. Sheamus is now the legal man, delivering 10 beats in front of Styles. He hits a rolling senton but gets distracted by Morrison. That gives Miz enough time to rake the eyes of Sheamus. He's pulled into the corner where Morrison lands a big kick with the referee distracted. Morrison is tagged in. He and Miz hit a buster on Sheamus. Big kick by Morrison to a down Sheamus, but he's able to block. Sheamus goes to tag Drew, but Morrison gator rolls him back to the opposite corner. So then AJ tags in, landing chops on Sheamus in the corner. Transition into a calf crusher. Yes, folks, I said it right, calf crusher. But Drew interferes. AJ exchanges words with him. He goes for a Styles clash, but Sheamus counters into White Nose Drew, and Morrison tagged in for their sides. Huge belly-to-belly suplex by Drew, followed by a double suplex to Miz and Morrison. It sounded like I said, hey, 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 like football, you know what I mean? Anyways, Drew goes for a future shot DDT, but it's countered. Morrison off the ropes, but he flipped 6 ways to Sunday with a massive back body drop. Sheamus and AJ tags in. Sheamus hits an Irish curse backbreaker, but then Mrs. Morrison, sound like I said Mrs. Morrison, Miss Morrison, oh God. Mrs. Morrison with a bro kick, hitting Drew instead. AJ then takes advantage with a phenomenal forearm for the victory. He remains unbeatable on Raw. And this is what I have to say. This is my thoughts on this match. Folks, we literally got the same match we had last week, just added AJ Styles to make it seem different. How stupid do you think we look, WWE? We aren't that fucking stupid to not notice this. I mean, really. Come on, man. Are you fucking serious with this? My God, if this doesn't excite you, if this excites you, then something is wrong, folks. Really. You just cannot justify how fucking bad this was. Talk about beating a dead horse, man. I mean, seriously. Talk about hitting somebody with a freaking hammer, man. Oh my God. Worst as it gets. So, post-match, Drew and Sheamus stare each other down in frustration. And I thought how funny that was for the community to fucking say they enjoyed this. Really? You enjoyed it? I enjoyed reaching for that remote, changing that fucking channel. That's what I enjoyed. Yeah, talk about that. Man, on this show, man, it was just rants and repeats all over again, man. Rants and repeats. Period. That's all it is. Rants and repeats, man. On this shit show. Known as Monday Night Raw. Same old shit of Miz Morrison. So unfunny and so cringe. It really was. Seriously, man. Why would anybody want to see a McIntyre, Miz, and Morrison feud on television? It's fucking terrible. Not to mention, not only the show sucks, Vince McMahon and Bruce look like the size of a duck. They both do. What if Vince McMahon runs out of making bucks? Like $1 million bucks. Tell you, Mr. Man can't go without his money. Obviously, you know where I got that from, right? Yeah. So, back live for a replay of Jax and Baszler's program with Lana and Asuka. Oh my god. Not this. Next week, it said next week, Lana takes on Jax. So Lana is afraid to face Jax, but Asuka pumps her up. Lana then walks into Jax, who stares her down angrily. Oh man, can you believe WWE booked another Nia Jax versus Lana match next week, man? Can you believe that? Absolutely terrible. Oh man. Oh. The level of embarrassment, man, this is. Seriously. More rinse and repeats over and over again on this shit show on this Monday Night Raw, announcing this match for next week's Raw, man. You know what I'm going to be doing when I see Lana versus Nia Jax. I said it earlier in the review, and I'm going to say it again. Picking up that remote, changing the goddamn channel, because the match is boring. Nobody wants to see another Nia Jax versus Lana. Seriously, man. This tag team feud is just... It's just not... It's not enjoyable to watch, this feud. It's just... I don't know. It's almost like... It's almost like when your dog's whining and you're like... And you're just looking at her and you're just like, man, sorry, dog, I don't feel like playing with you. I'll play with you the next day. You get bored. It's just like that feeling, man. I don't know. Man, that tech top of Lana kissing Asuka, I gotta tell you, that shit was weird as fuck, man. I don't know if she's a lesbian or what. She's trying to pretend like she's a lesbian, but clearly she's not. So, anyways, Sheamus is then interviewed about what happened in the ring. He says it wasn't intentional. As Drew walks over, you know exactly what was going to happen, didn't you? Says Drew. As the two stare each other down, commercial break, back from commercial. Drew and Sheamus have fixed their issues, taking their frustration out on WWE producer Pat Book. To the ring. I would have took out my frustration on Bruce and Vince McMahon for the simple fact that they can't write or produce. Where U.S. Champion Bobby Lashley is taking on Jeff Hardy next. We get a quick recap of Lashley attack Riddle from last week first. Hardy's getting ready to head to the ring, but is cut off by Riddle, who proposes that the two pair up and call themselves the Hardy Bros. Huh! Copyright infringement, folks. I'm not so sure about that, but Hardy doesn't really have time for the suggestion, making his way to the ring instead. I don't think Hardy was buying that, what Matt Riddle was saying. I don't think he was buying it. He probably just said, nah, I'm good. No thanks. So, yeah. So we got Bobby Lashley, the almighty United States champion. Former heavyweight champion, I guess former ECW champion, I think. I think he was a former ECW champion. I know he was a former heavyweight champion. We got Bobby Lashley versus Jeff Hardy. And obviously, this match didn't really last long. So we got collar and elbow tie up to start. Lashley uses his power to gain control right away, targeting the injured back of Hardy from from last week. Sorry, my leg hit me. It was hurting. Lashley taunts Hardy, laying in right hands in the corner, and taunts Lashley as he blasts Hardy in the opposite corner. Lashley goes for a spear in the corner, but it's reversed. Lashley then attempts a Dominator, but gets reversed into a leg drop. Lashley attempts the Hurt Lock, but no dice. Hardy to the top, but MVP distracts him as Lashley picks Hardy up in the electric chair. Riddle makes his way to the ring now. The distraction is enough for Hardy to take control as he dives from the apron onto Lashley on the outside. Commercial break, back live. Lashley's in control after slamming Hardy's head into the ring post on the outside. Riddle is still at ringside and gets in Lashley's face. Lashley continues to beat down Hardy on the outside, jaw-jacking Riddle in the process. So then Lashley places Hardy in the Tree of Wound in the corner, stomping a mud hole into him. Snap suplex, Follows for a near fall. Lashley goes for the Hurt Lock. Hardy battles out. Lashley transitions into a rear naked choke. Hardy refuses to quit. Getting out of the hold, he throws a bevy of rights at Lashley, flooring him with a clothesline. Vintage Hardy now with a low drop kick for a near fall. Hardy with a kick to the chest and whisper in the wind. He goes for the pin, but Lashley kicks out at 2. Lashley gets back in control after dropping Hardy face first into the top rope. He continues the momentum with a flatliner. Lashley goes for a suplex, but Hardy reverses into a twist of fate. He goes to the top, but Lashley is already on his feet. He avoids Hardy and lands a spear, followed by the Hurt Lock for the win. Post-match, Bobby Lashley refuses to let go of the hold, tossing Hardy into Riddle. Honestly, this ended up being a good match between Jeff Hardy and Bobby Lashley. And we could now be looking at Bobby Lashley versus Matt Riddle for the United States title, which I will not mind at all. I'll take it. That would be an absolutely good match, given both Matt Riddle and Bobby Lashley do have MMA backgrounds. So this is going to be great. I love to see both wrestlers with MMA backgrounds go at it. I love it. Two of the same styles. Two different styles. That would be a great match, man. If they book it right, if they do it right, if it works out and turns out right, it'll be a good match for the title. 'Cause you know how WWE books stuff the wrong way and shit. You know how they fucking terribly book stuff on these shows. But honestly, WWE would be also one to put Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy together as a team. Two guys with crazy passes that can exploit teaming together for their own sick comedy game. Honestly, folks, this company is ridiculous sometimes. We all know that. But still, Bobby Lashley versus Matt Riddle for the United States title would be good. It really would be. Nonetheless, to locker room where Orton is focused, he gets a knock on the door, but no one is there. As Orton goes to close the door, Rumbling Rabbit interrupts, saying that Bray can't wait to take on Orton next. It's going to be so much fun. Commercial break, back live. Orton makes his entrance. Wyatt follows. We got Orton versus Wyatt. This match was a waste of everybody's time to watch it. It was absolutely outrageous. We could have had a Fiend and Orton face off for the main event. It could have been them facing each other and then going off air just like that. I mean, instead of booking Wyatt versus Orton as the main event, I mean, this made no sense. This was worse than their WrestleMania match. Oh my god, this match was. Oh, excuse me. So this is basically what we're going to be getting for TLC. The Fiend versus Orton. Of course, Lexi will probably be at ringside at TLC. Of course, probably. Who knows? I'm not going to say who cares because I'm not trying to be no disrespectful chick. Idiot. So, Orton with a headlock to start. Wyatt breaks out and lands a shoulder tackle to the outside. Orton goes for a back body drop on the announce desk, but Wyatt turns it around, hitting the Viper with the same move. Wyatt takes a headset from the announce desk and says, "Yowie wowie. We'll be back." Commercial break, back live. Orton is relentless. He lands kicks to a down Wyatt and then slows the pace down with a headlock. Wyatt fights back, landing some big right hands and an atomic drop. Big clothesline in the corner is followed up by a crossbody and a DDT for a near fall. Wyatt goes for Sister Abigail, but Orton counters. He counters with a neckbreaker for a near fall. Follows up with a headbutt to Wyatt, and then a back body drop and the outside onto the announce desk. Back in the ring, Wyatt is up and attempts Sister Abigail again. Orton reverses with a thumb to the eye. He readies for a RKO, but the lights go out. Unfazed, Orton hits an RKO. When the lights go back up, the Fiend is seen in the ring instead of Wyatt. He locks in the mandible claw as the show heads off the air. So, folks, if that's what we got between Orton and Funhouse Bray Wyatt, then you know what? You might as well say we have nothing to look forward to when we get to The Fiend against Randy Orton. So, WWE, Bruce, Creative, and Vince, you all basically just gave away their TLC match last night. That was on the same level, if not slightly worse than their WrestleMania match. That was just what I said in the review. I just said that. Wow. It goes to show you, man, Vince and Bruce don't care about anything. This main event was not exciting. It was fucking trash. They could have easily saved this match for TLC. It would have been easier that way. But no, they would have put this match for the main event, which absolutely made no sense to anybody that was watching this show. This show was a 3-hour waste of everybody's time watching it. Nothing legitimately important on this show. Nothing mattered on this show at all. Outside of Bobby Lashley versus Jeff Hardy. Nothing is going to matter outside of Bobby Lashley versus Matt Riddle for the United States title when it happens. That's probably going to be the only legit best thing on this show. Or at TLC. I think the only matches that's going to steal the show at TLC is Roman Reigns versus KO, and let's see what else. Maybe Bobby Lashley versus Matt Riddle if they book it for TLC, which I think they're going to do it. I think this match should be official for that pay-per-view. If not, I would be surprised. I really would be. Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles, not really. The Women's Championship, definitely not going to be a good match. It's going to be a terrible match. And then you got Sasha Banks versus Carmelo, which nobody is looking forward to. Everybody's just looking for Sasha Banks. Everybody's just looking forward to Sasha Banks destroying Carmelo. That's what they're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to her destroying Carmelo too. I'm looking forward to Sasha Banks putting over Sasha Banks Sasha Banks putting over Carmelo so this feud can end. This feud's probably going to continue more than likely. I hope not. Tonight's Monday Night Raw was absolutely terrible, folks. As always, like it always is every week. The show didn't deliver because, number one, Bruce, Vince, and WWE Creative are fucking terrible at producing writing. Number two, the rosters are fucking terrible. Number three, they refuse to build new stars. Number four, Vince, Bruce, Creative are bad at booking matches. Number six, their creative thinking is worse than ever before. They still refuse to merge the Raw, SmackDown Men's Tag Team divisions and the Raw, SmackDown Women's divisions after me, JD, and a few others have told them to twice, and they still won't do it. And last but not least, folks, Bruce and Vince doesn't care about what the fans want. They don't care about the shows, the pay-per-views. They don't care about everybody who works for them. And the WWE stars. Now that's definitely gotta be sad. That's definitely gotta be sad, dude. Goes to show you right there, man. Goes to show you how pathetic these two are. Bruce and Vince only cares about themselves and what they want in and out of these shows, and not what we as fans want in and out of these shows. In fact, they only care about what they want written and what they want on both shows. They should know is not helping the ratings or the viewership. Why is Shayna Basler not getting an opportunity, not getting a Raw Women's title opportunity? Bruce? If anything, why don't you morons get rid of both the titles, like I said in the beginning of the review? Folks, this is the end of your review. I'm getting out of here. This show sucks. I got no more to say. If you enjoyed this review, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. That's all I got. I do. Now, my 2 Ingram Wrestling news videos that I'm dropping this week, one of them is going to be news on Tessa Blanchard's current status. And the other one is going to be news on why Sting joined All Elite Wrestling. So please, when those 2 videos get uploaded to YouTube this week, be sure you leave a like on both videos. And you're gonna love the thumbnails that I'm going to tweet on Twitter today, man. You're gonna love them. You're absolutely gonna love them. Seriously, you really are. Especially the one with Tessa Blanchard. You're gonna love it. So, folks, again, hit that like, subscribe button, turn on bell notifications. Again, if you enjoyed this Raw review, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a thumbs down. It always helps me in the channel, and it always helps my live streaming videos and my reviews. They go live every week. It also helps my Ingram Wrestling news videos as well. And of course, if you missed all of my latest and current Ingram Wrestling news videos, be sure you check them out. The Ingram Wrestling news playlist is on my YouTube channel. If you want to check the news on Tyler Bates' status with WWE, to those of you that are fans of Tyler Bates, be sure you check that video out. Leave a like on that. And if you want to know about Mandy Rose's status for her return, be sure you check that video out. That video is still on there. The video on Sonya Deville's current status for her return is still on there. Be sure you check that out as well if you want to see it. Also, if you have missed my Ingram Wrestling News video on the Thunderdome, also check that out. If you missed that video, if you want to check that video out as well. And if you missed last week's SmackDown, that's on there as well, along with last Monday's Monday Night Raw. That's on there as well. And last week's NXT, if you want to check that out, that's on there as well. And if you want to check out the news on why Aleister Black disappeared from Monday Night Raw, and the news on what The Undertaker possibly making his return from Saudi Arabia, you can also check those out as well. All those videos are on there as well. And if you want to check out my WWE Survivor Series 2020 review, that's on there as well. I have everything you need on my channel, folks. Nobody does it better than Ingram Wrestling News when it comes to news videos. Nobody does it better like me. Nobody. Absolutely no one. No one does better Ingram Wrestling News videos than me. Nobody. So, folks, I'm out of here. Have yourselves a good rest of the week. I actually have to get off of here and get some sleep, because I actually got to work, so I do got to work this week. But I'm getting out of here. Peace. I'm out of here, folks.